can't believe you're so skinny. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Where the hell is this idiot who would abuse such a small child as this? What do you guys think you're doing? I'm going to call the police!
We already have, and you're going to pay every cent for what you've done to little Sora and Mr. Wakamatsu.
My name is Akira Wakamatsu. I'm a 35-year-old office employee. The company I'm working for is currently at the top of the industry, a major trading company called Orchid, named after the flower. Ever since going under the umbrella of the Kosaka family, one of Japan's leading conglomerates, the growth has been incredible. Well, it also means work has been extremely busy because of that. I was working more overtime than ever, and my time with my family was becoming less and less. But our CEO, Mr. Alan Suzuki, was the same age as me, but an exceptional genius. Even though he is a little strange, he created an environment where large-scale mid-career hires can be made, and employees can move up in a timely manner, all within his first 6 months. I was thrilled to be working under him, and he made me more loyal to the company. However, within those 6 months, where work had become super busy and was going well, my household had instead taken a turn for the absolute worst. Wait, what? Since when was my bank account so little? Instead of taking out student endowment insurance, I had an account where every month a certain amount would be automatically deducted from my salary. Of course, this was to pay for my sweet daughter Sora's tuition and school fees. However, I realized that more than half of my savings account had gone missing. When I confronted my wife Fuka about it, she was surprisingly quick to admit to her theft.
You know, sometimes I want to have some fun too. You know, I'm still only 30 years old. I'm in my prime.
I give you more than enough to live off of. Why did you put your hands on my savings? Our savings!
There's no way I could be satisfied with such a meager amount. Anytime I hang out with my fellow mom friends, it's so embarrassing that I'm the only one wearing non-brand name clothes.
But we made a promise that you would buy the things that you wanted with the money that you made from your part-time job. $800 a month should be plenty for you to have fun. On top of that, the allowance that I give you should be giving you plenty of freedom. It doesn't make any sense for our savings to go down by $15,000 in 6 months.
Well, that can't be helped, because Daya...
Daya? A wave of regret swallowed Fuka's face, and she fell silent. As it turns out, not only was she spending an absurd amount of money on luxury goods, but she had also become attached to this man named Daya. I understand. It all makes sense now. Let's get a divorce. Your affair and your reckless spending are the reasons. I'll be sure to get a lawyer and collect a full settlement fee from the both of you.
Huh? You're always work. You're the only one that didn't do anything for your family.
I feel really bad about that, but I know that I explained to you that we were in the busy season right now.
You forced me to raise our child alone. You're the worst kind of man, and I can't wait to get away from you. And I won't be paying any kind of settlement.
Fine. Then you don't need to pay a settlement fee or split the assets. But I'll be taking full custody of our daughter. How's that?
Excuse me? What makes you think that's okay? The custody is mine.
You just said that you're tired of being forced to raise your child. So wouldn't you be getting exactly what you want if I take that off of your hands?
Shut up! No matter what, I'm not giving you custody, and you're going to be paying child support.
I see. That's what you're after. I met Fuka at a group blind date. She was 20 years old at the time, and I was 25. I was getting ready to settle down, and wanted the next person that I date to be a person that I wanted to marry. Fuka was only 20 years old, and I didn't think she would be in that mindset, so I didn't think of her as a potential partner, but...
Wow! Mr. Wakamatsu, you work at that company Orchid?
I'm amazed that you know our company. We're still just a growing trading company.
It's really famous amongst us students who are job searching right now. We heard that the welfare program is solid, and that there are even exams you can take for a salary increase.
Well, I'm honored to hear that. The whole evening, Fuka carried a lively conversation and brightened up the dinner, and I became interested in her and exchanged contact info. We went on a few dates together, but before we officially started dating, I decided I should tell her how I was feeling. Fuka, I wanted to tell you that the next person that I date, I want them to be someone that I can consider marrying. You're still really young, and probably aren't ready for marriage, right? That's why...
Marriage. Well, I only just turned 20 years old, and I still have 2 years left until I graduate college. I'm sure it might be hard to trust a girl this young, but I really do like you, Mr. Akira, and I'm serious about this.
Fuka...
Between now and when I graduate, I'll think hard about where to get a job, or if I want a job at your house forever.
Hey, I'm not joking about this! And so, Fuka and I started dating, and shortly before she graduated college, when she was 21 years old, we found out she was pregnant. Luckily, it was still the early stages, so she was able to graduate college without anybody finding out, and we got married immediately after. When Fuka was 22 years old, our only daughter, Sora, was born. I know that she gave up her prime years of her youth on raising our child, and for that, I'm truly grateful. That's why I worked harder than anybody else around me, so that she could have a comfortable life and as much freedom as possible. And I thought I had done everything in my power to make her happy. However, when Sora entered elementary school and Fuka's motherhood duties took one step down, she was the one that said she wanted to start working a part-time job. Of course, I was happy for her to do so. Fuka had never had a job before, and I thought it might be a nice change of pace for her. I did my best to split the household duties with her, but like I mentioned before, we had gone into the busy season at work, and I regret that I wasn't able to get to all of my chores all the time. But that doesn't make it okay to cheat. I went to the lawyer. I was getting ready to fight for the bare minimum, but the truth was that with my work being so busy, there were times that I couldn't make it home at a decent hour. That meant that Fuka was clearly the one who spent the most time caring for Sora, and adhering to the principle of motherhood first, she ended up winning full custody of our daughter. In light of that, the $15,000 that she spent would be upheld as the property distribution. I was given visitation for my daughter twice a month, on the first and third Sunday, and that became a mandatory setting in return for Fuka not having to pay any settlement fees.
Daddy, you don't like me anymore?
Of course not. Your daddy loves you more than anyone in the whole entire world. I promise I'll get to see you soon. So don't worry. Sora seemed worried, but I did my best to comfort her as I held her in my arms. To be honest, I didn't want to leave her with my ex-wife at all. I'm sure my ex-wife was going to start living with that guy named Daya. I could only hope that nothing would happen to Sora. But 2 months later... Yo! Waka! Yes. What can I help you with, sir? Well, that was such a big sigh. I was wondering what was wrong with you. Well, actually, I recently got divorced. What? Why? Good salary, good face, good personality? You? Divorced? How? This is going to sound really pathetic, but my ex-wife cheated on me, and I couldn't even get custody of my daughter. Huh? She was the one that cheated on you, and yet she gets custody? That doesn't make any sense. In times like this, the mother is almost always at an advantage. I can't believe this. I see how hard you work for your daughter and your family, and that's such a rare thing these days. Thank you for saying that. I'm just so worried about my daughter. What do you mean? Well, the agreement was that I would get to see my daughter on the first and third Sunday of every month, but that hasn't been happening. They say they're too busy, or that Sora's sick, or some excuse, and I'm just so worried if she's okay, or if she's being given everything that she needs. That's more important than anything. Hey, can you get in touch with that lawyer that you used for your divorce? What? Yes. All right. You're leaving work early today. We're going straight to that lawyer's office. The CEO whisked me out of the office and took me to the office of the lawyer that I had previously worked with. He helped me discuss with the lawyer how my visitations were not being granted and if there was anything that we could do about it. The lawyer immediately contacted my ex-wife for me. Hello? Is this the number of Miss Fuka?
Yeah, it is. What do you want?
Ever since the divorce, it seems that you haven't let your former husband see his daughter. Not once.
So what if I haven't? I'm busy.
That is not a valid reason. At the time of the divorce, you signed a contract clearly stating that your husband would get to see his daughter on the first and third Sunday of every month. This is a violation of that legal contract, and therefore, your former husband is not obligated to pay any child support fees. And, as you are not upholding your side of the agreement, we will move forward to collect the settlement fee from you that was waived in the first place. Do you understand?
Why should I be the one to have to pay any money? What a joke! Why can't you understand that sometimes things come up and the meeting doesn't happen?
Well then, if the meeting happens this upcoming Sunday, we will not move forward with collecting any settlement. However, as for this month's child support payment, until the meeting on Sunday is successfully completed, we will be temporarily withholding the transfer. The lawyer's words must have struck a chord. I was transferring child support fees to her on the 15th of every month, and today was the 14th. So the day before, it was probably right around the time that her account was running low. I'm sure her spending habits hadn't fixed itself anyway. On top of that, today was a Monday. I'm sure this was enough to make that stupid couple struggle.
Fine then. I'll let you meet her online tonight, and I'll let you see her next Sunday too. That should be enough, right? You have to transfer it tomorrow.
What would you like to do, Mr. Wakamatsu? If it means that I can see my daughter, then I'm fine with that for now. Alright then. If you're successfully able to meet your daughter over video call tonight, then let's say you can transfer half of the child support tomorrow. And if Sunday's meeting happens, then we can transfer the remaining amount after that. Sounds like a plan. Waka! This is great news! Yes, but more than anything, I just want to see her face. Because of the way that her mom is, I'm sure that she's still wasting money with her terrible spending habits. How much are you sending them per month? With the child support and the living expenses, $2,000. That much? Thanks to you and the company, sir, I still have plenty to live comfortably. If you're sending them that much, then it's definitely strange that they desperately need the payment tomorrow. It is, right? Hey, how about the video call later? Do you think you can record it somehow and show it to me afterwards? What? You mean show it to you? Yeah. Depending on the state of her health and well-being, you may be able to regain custody. We need to think about the worst-case scenario and be prepared. Yes! Yes, sir! The CEO of our company might be a little airheaded and different, but his brains and his sixth sense were in a league of their own. And just like the CEO had said, I also had a bad feeling about the situation. I decided to do as he said and record the video call. You should go home now. My little sister is calling me non-stop, so I'll head back to the office. Miss Rulon is a tough one as usual. I took my boss up on his offer, and I went straight home. The few hours that I spent at home felt like the longest hours of my life. I kept staring at the clock. The time we had promised was 7 p.m. Hurry up, hurry up. Finally, my cell phone rang. It was a video call request from Fuka.
Daddy! Daddy!
Sora! Sora?
I really wanted to see you, Daddy.
When I saw my daughter's face for the first time in a long time, I was at a loss for words. On the screen was a completely different little girl from the one I had said goodbye to just a few months ago. She was so skinny and scrawny. On top of that, it was June, right in the middle of summer. It wasn't long sleeve weather at all. But for some reason, Sora had been given a long sleeve shirt, and she was constantly rubbing her arms. But she only cried in the beginning, and soon she had a smile back on her face as she started talking to me.
Daddy, are you eating your 3 meals a day?
Of course. What about you, Sora? You look like you've lost a little weight.
I'm on a diet. Everything is okay.
Are you having fun with your mommy and your new dad?
Yeah, they play with me a lot.
As soon as she said that, I could see her eyes nervously going back and forth. The bad feeling that I had suddenly started to take over me. At that moment, Sora opened her hand and spread her fingers, then tucked her thumb in before making a fist. She repeated this strange movement a few times, and she stared right at me through the screen.
Daddy, let's meet in person next time, okay? It's a promise.
Yeah, it's a promise. The uneasiness inside of me was so overwhelming that I decided to contact my CEO straight away. He very kindly invited me to his house. Waka! Sir, I'm so sorry to bother you so late at night. No problem. My wife and daughter are sleeping on the second floor, and if anything happens, my little sister will come help us too. Is that so? I'm glad. Anyway, how was the video call with Sora? About that, please, take a look at this. I rushed to take out my phone and show Mr. Allen the video recording from a few hours ago. I could see Mr. Allen looking more and more concerned as every second went by. Isn't this the hand signal for help? Huh? What is that? Since people and families were spending more time at home, cases of domestic violence drastically increased during COVID times. This was a signal for help across the screen without having to raise your voice or say anything. It started in Canada, but recently it's been spreading across Japan on social media too. I had no clue. I'm embarrassed that I didn't know that. Well, now you know, so it's okay. And I am the CEO after all. It's my job to know about things like this. You really do amaze me every day, Mr. Allen. That's not the point. Sora is in danger. You can see in one glance that she's so skinny, and I think there's no doubt that she's not in a good environment right now. I agree. So should we go barge into their house? My ex-wife and the man that she was cheating on me with are in my old house. If they've been abusing my daughter, physically hurting her, I don't know what I'll do. You're her father. That's understandable. Let's go. We need to save Sora right now.
Hey, Alan, you can't get ahead of yourself like that.
Miss Rulon? Oh, I called her earlier just in case. I thought it would be better if we had more people. This was how Miss Rulon joined us, and we started devising our plan to rescue my daughter.
Mommy, I'm hungry. Huh? Shut up. I already gave you a bag of bread the other day, didn't I? We don't have any money to spend on a useless kid like you. This month, Chanel is coming out with a new bag, you know.
Oh yeah, Fuka. I'm going to the casino tomorrow, so give me some money.
My sweet Daya, what are we going to do with you? But I already finished that little bit of bread a long time ago. Yeah, shut up! You're so annoying. If only you weren't born, I could have enjoyed my womanhood so much more. Shut up and stay quiet like the ATM that you are. Stop crying with such a loud voice. The neighbors are going to hear.
Should we tape her mouth shut with duct tape again and tie her up? Seriously, why do kids cry so much? It's so annoying!
I know, right? I agree, Daya. Damn it, who the hell is ringing at this time?
I'll go hide that kid, so you go deal with it.
Alright, fine. Huh? What are you doing here? I already let you see her online today, didn't I?
You know, the walls of this apartment are really thin.
So what?
I heard all of that yelling and recorded it. Now give me Sora, you scumbags!
How dare you?
Whoa now! Don't move, you gold-digging, money-hungry devil woman!
Who the hell are you? Let go of me!
Rulon, call our legendary macho brother now! This is an abuse and neglect incident!
I'm on it. Stop that! Stop that right now!
Daya! Hey! Where are you going, you she-devil? God! Get up! I'm not finished with you yet! Whoa! Waka! When I pushed Fuka aside and went into the house, Daya, or whatever this idiot's name was putting duct tape over Sora's mouth and had her hands and feet tied up so tight they were nearly bleeding. When I saw this, my mind went blank and all logic flew out the window! You must be the idiot named Akira, the loser ex-husband! Why don't you shut up and keep playing, ATM?
Daddy!
Sora! I can't believe you're so skinny! I'm sorry! Dang. I didn't know you were so strong, Waka. Wait, Sora, is she okay?
No. That guy's hit me so many times.
Where the hell is this idiot who would abuse such a small child as this? What do you guys think you're doing? I'm going to call the police!
We already have. And you're going to pay every cent for what you've done to little Sora and Mr. Wakamatsu. Daya!
Shut up, you witch! Abusing Sora and hurting her? And not even giving her any proper meals?
That's my right as the one raising her. I can do what I want. You're the one who lost custody, so shut up.
Well then, you two will be headed to the pigsty, and the custody will be mine! I'm sure I'll never have to see your faces ever again! The police arrived shortly after, and the two of them were taken out in handcuffs. Mr. Allen had already submitted the video as evidence to the police, and Sora had to be admitted into the hospital for severe malnutrition. On top of that, her body was covered in bruises and scars as proof of the daily abuse that she was subjected to, all combined with Sora's own testimony, and that resulted in a prison sentence for the both of them. Sora's condition was even worse than we imagined, and she would require more than 1 month of hospitalization for treatment.
Does that mean I still can't go to school?
You'll be able to go as soon as you're feeling better. But I wanted to ask you, how did you know about the help hand signal?
My English teacher taught it to us. She told us to use it if we ever needed help.
I see. We're lucky that you're such a smart little girl, Sora. Sora had always loved school and studying, but after the divorce and being taken by my ex-wife, she wasn't even allowed to go to school anymore. That means that she had fallen pretty far behind in her studies. Besides the physical injuries, I knew that she was mentally and emotionally struggling. So I went to the CEO with a decision I made. 1 month later, Sora, congratulations! You're free!
Thank you, Daddy. I get to live with you from now on, right, Daddy?
Yeah, that's right. We'll be together forever. Oh, and Sora, you and me, we're going to move in with Grandpa and Grandma.
What?
There's a lot of nature around Grandma's house, and it's a great place for us to take it easy. If we stay here, for better or for worse, you'll probably be reminded of everything scary that happened, right?
Yeah?
And I'm sure it might be a little awkward for you to go back to school now, so Daddy will help you study. And after summer break, you can transfer and start at the school over there.
But Daddy, what about your work?
Don't worry about that. Do you remember the nice man who came to help me that day?
Yeah?
That man is a very important person in Daddy's company, and he promised that he would help your daddy, so everything will be okay.
I see. That man, he's a real-life hero.
That's right. When I tried to submit my resignation to Mr. Allen... What? No. I don't want to let go of an exceptional employee like you. Denied. What? But I have to... I hereby transfer you to remote work. Once or twice a month, it would be great if you could come to the head office as a business trip. If I ask your parents for permission, do you think we can work something out? But of course, that would be a dream. Are you sure? Well then, it's decided. Why are you doing this much for me? I know that you've supported this company since my father's generation. You're an irreplaceable and talented member of this company. It would be one thing if you wanted to move to a better company or move overseas, but if you're just moving to the suburbs for your daughter, it's not like you don't like this company anymore, right? Of course not! Then it's decided. Oh, but I'll combine your paid time off and the summer holidays, and make sure that you can take about a month off. I'm sure you'll have your hands full with moving and everything. Thank you very much! Sir, I hope someday I can return the gratitude to you, even if it takes me the rest of my life! The rest of your life is overdoing it. We can share an ice cream and call it even. If I have more than one, it'll hurt my stomach. Why don't you just split it over 2 days? You really are a genius. Rulon said the exact same thing. And so, thanks to my CEO's generosity, I'm working remote from my parents' house and continuing working for Orchid. 3 years later, Sora's heart and body were fully recovered.
Daddy, I'm on my way to school.
Have fun today! She wants to stay here until middle school and says she's thinking about taking an exam for a high school in the city. If that happens, then the two of us will move back to life in Tokyo. As for the CEO, that's great! You're welcome back anytime. My daughter just turned 3 years old. It would be great if Sora could play with her too. We're looking forward to it. It's been 3 years, but I haven't been able to get remarried. I haven't wanted to either. I may have been unlucky with my partner, but with the best company and the best CEO, my amazing colleagues, and of course, my beautiful daughter, I feel like the luckiest man on earth. I know that my daughter will one day leave me for a life of her own, but until then, I'm going to continue working hard to give her the best life possible.